Hello everyone, Vito the Creative back again with another deck report. It's been a little while since I did one, so I'm trying to go over some stuff. First of all, both Illusionist and Fear 11 have had new releases this week. Fear 11 released on Monday the new Charity Water playing cards. This time around, they are blue, as opposed to the original version a couple of years ago, which was yellow. And really, it's been about 2 years, year and a half since the last one came out. It's for a good cause. They're only $5 each. All the proceeds go to charity water. I definitely recommend it. I don't expect a whole lot of changes from the original one. I don't know if there's going to be chokers or not this time. I didn't check, see if there was anything about that, or if it's just going to be 4 ad cards again like the last one. But I mean, it's a win-win situation for everyone involved. It gives money to charity water. It helps out the people that charity water helps out. It's good for Fear 11 because they look good for donating all the proceeds to a donation. And it's good for them as well because it's a tax write-up, I'm sure, for charitable donations. And really don't know why other companies like, say, Illusionist or Daniel Dave don't do that sometime, but whatever. And it's good for all of us and collectors in cardistry because they're nice looking cards. And they're simple, they're good for magic and everything, so definitely recommend checking it out. And even better, they're only $5 each. Illusionist also has a release that is coming up today. It went out yesterday to Black Club members. It is a new, latest, greatest, just kidding, Madison decks, the Madison Hustlers. And Hustlers are available in 2 colors. Purple, which is a standard one, and then there is a so-called limited edition in orange. Now, I don't know if it's available to non-club members. However, Black Club members were able to buy 12 and get not 1, but 2 free decks. Also, I think the first time ever, you can actually buy the limited decks for $15.99 each, I believe. With, I mean, once you get Black Club discounts and whatnot, it's a little bit less. And to me, that's something that I suggested in the past, and I'm very happy about, because I don't want to buy a brick of cards that I don't need just to get the limited one free. Even though this time you get 2 free, at least if you're a club member. So just paying $15 each is okay with me. And it's something that I know I've suggested in the past or brought up in the past. So glad to see them finally doing that. By the way, in case you're wondering, this is the Zenith uncarded. Pretty cool. Sold out, of course, on uncarded, but you can probably get it from resellers for $40 or something like that. Conjuring Arts recently released the second Allies deck. I believe it was blue. And they got a purple one coming up in a few weeks. They're nice enough to, if you want, if you're an international customer, they'll hold your order until the next ones are released. That way you don't have to pay for shipping twice. Really nice of them. And I'm doing that myself. There's a purple one, like I said, coming in a few weeks. And I'll probably have more decks coming too. Nothing from Dan and Dave. Big Blind Media has been very silent this year. I don't recall too many decks coming out from them so far, if any. Handlords. DeVoe has another deck coming out in the near future called the Passion. And Passion is just another color of the Dominion. This time purple. It's basically the same as the Viper that came out recently, except it's purple. Same faces and everything. So it's pretty interesting. Hopefully they don't do this for every color in the rainbow. And that's that. Let's look at Kickstarter very quickly. The Bicycle Occult from Gambler's Warehouse funded, still 11 days to go. The Gothic from Warpunk Games, not looking good. 58 hours left and they still need over $2,000. It's not a huge amount, but for them, for a non-USPC deck, it could mean being produced and not being produced. Could be a It's not look. Excuse me. It's not looking too good at the moment. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention before we go on with Kickstarter. Jason at the oneeyedjack.com has a new 52 collectible deck out. What that is he's got a deck of cards. It has 52 different cards. Well, it's got a deck. It's a deck of cards made up of 52 cards. Each card is from a different deck. Included in this one, the original black and white Smoke and Mirrors decks. The original, first ones that ever came out. The original Jack Sellers, one-way back design, smooth finish playing cards. There's Black Raiders. There's Tahoes. And the original, extremely hard to find, blue and gold Monarchs, which is the original version that they only sold about 130, 120 of. And then they discarded the rest, destroyed the rest, and went with the standard white and blue back. So some very hard to find, very limited decks in that 52 collectible deck. Only $9.99. If you use the code JACK14, you get 10% off, so it's $8.99. And unfortunately, shipping's a little bit pricey. It's like $21.95 to ship one deck to Canada, which is absolutely ridiculous when I can get shipping from MJM Magic for $10 for like 5 or 6 decks. But it is what it is. I don't place a lot of orders on there anymore because of that, and because it's not really getting a whole lot of new stuff. Anyways, back to Kickstarter. We talked about Occults and the Gothic. The Aquila playing cards by Carterfy. 41 hours left, well funded. They have unlocked foil and embossing and gold foil on the standard edition deck. One new deck on Kickstarter to tell you about, the Demon deck. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. But it's demonic, as you can see. Unfortunately, the creator is only charging $2 for international shipping, which is nowhere near enough, especially when you consider what I just told you about the one-eyed Jack charging $21.95 for shipping, and others charging about $10 or so, including the loose list. So, don't know how he thinks $2 is enough to ship a deck. And if you add on additional decks, it's $1 additional per deck, which is, again, not enough. So it basically telling me a brick is going to cost $14 to ship out or something like that. Not likely. It costs me $25 to ship out a brick, at least. And that's just to the US. He's only looking for $2,000. It's not USB-C. He doesn't even know who's printing it yet. I inquired about that, and he said that he's got a couple of different options depending on how much money they make. I would solidify who is producing the deck before anything goes on, so that I know exactly how much money I'm going to need, who's printing it, the customers know who's printing it. This way, there's too many questions, shipping is not reliable, and I would not back it. The Bicycle Monster Montage from Scott Carey. 23 days left. They're about a quarter of the way. It's going pretty slow. I don't know if it's going to get funded, but hopefully it gets funded this time around. Hawaiian playing cards from Homegrown Games. They need $3,000 approximately. Yeah, you got 19 days left. Should happen. Muertos, Day of the Dead playing cards. Well funded, 30 days left. Kingdoms of Erden. They're almost $1,500. They need $2,500 with 37 days left. They're not doing a whole lot better than the previous campaign, except that they got a much smaller goal and they still have not yet been able to achieve it. For some reason. I don't know why. The art is pretty nice. I don't know why people aren't pledging for it. Then the Flame Fractals playing cards, which is somebody that was on LSD that decided to come up with these, I guess. It looks like they're on drugs anyways. Very colorful. Funded, 9 days left. Borderline playing cards. Really awesome looking deck of cards. There is a couple $1,000 more before it gets funded in 13 days. I'll show you an image if I can. Booyah. Pretty nice. Goonies playing cards from Albino Dragon. They're up to almost $35,000 from a $10,000 goal. 15 days left. Over 950 backers. Would have been a lot higher had they had international, but since you can only buy them in the States, or if you ship to somebody in the States, pretty much leaves a lot of people out in the cold. Kingdoms of a New World by Nathaniel Morrison. Yes, it's back. They're looking for $5,000. They're almost there. They need a few $100 more. With 30 days left. The idea is they previously did this campaign, and I guess apparently they got a lot of people that still want to get the cards, so they decided to do another campaign for it. I said this before about the Call of Cthulhu deck. I'll say it again here. Kickstarter is not a reseller. It's not a store. So there's no place for this project on there as far as I'm concerned. But at the same time, Kickstarter has become more and more of a pre-selling website than an actual funding medium, it seems. Then there's the cult movie cards. I don't even know what to say about this. They're about a quarter of the way funded, looking for £4,000. 32 days left. Supposed to be a USB-C deck. I don't know if that's going to be quite enough funding for a USB-C deck. The back design is very one way, and it's sideways instead of up and down, which is even worse. And it features a lot of movie icons. I mean, the Ace of Spades has Ace Ventura's hair on it. And to me, that's going to be a lot of copyright issues. And I doubt USB-C is going to want to touch it from a mile away. Then there's the Hurricane playing cards. 12 days left. They need $6,000 more. Probably not going to happen. The Blood Splattered Zombie Examus 1963 playing cards. They still need £2,000, and they have 14 days left. That one's been very slow. I don't know if it's going to get funding, as it has a last minute sudden burst. Then there's playing cards Deconstructed, where the creator has taken an element from each court card and placed it into the pips. So an element of each spade court card inside the spade pip. Same with the diamond, heart, etc. The back design is it's on here, I'll show you. It's a very plain, this kind of gives you an idea what he's done. If you can see that. Boom, boom. Back design. I see this more often, show you the cards. There's the back design. Wait, what the hell is going on here? So they still haven't quite chosen the backs. Originally it was just similar to the LTD decks from Illusionist in red. White borders. Now looks like he's changed that into some kind of a circle of pips with borderless back designs, which turns me off a little bit. Oops, my apologies. Then there is Hotcakes from Usai. Funded already. I definitely recommend checking this out. There you go. Nudity on the quote cards. Never before. Check that out. They're hilarious. I like that. Definitely go buy a couple of those. There's two different colors in that one. It's funded. Sophia Ray playing cards. 60 hours left. They need $8,000 more. It's not going to happen. They're just too plain, too standard. Nobody wants them, basically. Morse Code playing cards, based on the Morse Code. From Rena Joy Designs, who previously did the Relic playing cards, and it was like 8 different decks in that. I'm seeing black-faced cards and white-faced cards. I'm seeing lots of color, which I like color, I don't mind that. I like different colored pips. But the court cards in the back design, not really doing it for me. And I should mention that that one right now, they only got a couple $100, looking for 10,000 for USB-C printing with 23 days. Not really a chance in hell what's going to happen. Bicycle Mayhem from Cardisons, well funded, 4 days left. Glory and Honor bicycle playing cards, very patriotic cards with soldiers on them and army motifs and stuff like that. As designed based on Memorial Day, which was a couple days ago, and it's by the Artisan Card Company. And the name of the guy is Alki Artman, which is really weird. Right now they got $1,111, a very interesting number, out of $12,000, 21 days left. Not likely going to happen. Weird one playing cards, they still got one backer. They're very weird. Not going to happen. Icon playing cards by Benji Taylor. Funded, 20 hours left. It's a little bit worrisome for me that they somehow had a sudden miraculous funding at the very end that they had last week, Thursday or whatever it was, overnight. I saw it the day before when I did my last tech report video, I think it was. They they were only at about 3,000 or 4,000 pounds out of 7,000. The next day I checked on it and it was funded. Somehow they got like 3,000 or 4,000 pounds overnight. Seems like too much of a miracle for me. A deck that was slowly tracking towards not getting funded, all of a sudden shoots over the moon. And it hasn't gotten that much funding since, but it's gotten a couple hundred more pounds. That plus 13-year-old kid, 14-year-old kid fulfilling the project worries me a little bit, even though he's got his father helping him and whatnot. And also clearly it's got his name on it and everything, which as far as I'm concerned should be his father running it, not him, as per Kickstarter rules. So it's all a little bit, I don't know. I want to support it, but at the same time I'm concerned that a 14-year-old might take the money and run and not produce anything. Then again, he's got backing from Art Play and Zach Mueller and whatnot. But I don't really even see that much in the cards. I don't know why people are supporting them so much. They're not that beautiful. They're pretty standard. I'm not sure if there's any changes. I'll tell you what I'm talking about, if I can find it. If I can get you to see that. That's the back design right there. It's just a bunch of symbols. I mean, that's not overly exciting. They got light bulbs and diamonds and bricks and light bulbs for jokers, a light bulb with the ace of spades. Here's a bit of a closer shot. I just don't see there being a whole lot of effort or creativity in that. It's underwhelming to me. It's just a bunch of symbols on a back design. I don't understand why so many people are like, wow, that's an amazing deck. And why has it got so much support from people like Zach Mueller and Art of Play. I mean, it's okay. I like it. It's okay, but it's not a whole lot of effort in my opinion. It's not that amazing like some people make it out to be. That's just my opinion though. No offense to us. That's just what I think. I mean, no offense to Benji Taylor or anything. I think he's a good guy and it's an interesting design and everything, but it's not wow like Jackson Robinson or anything like that. It's just standard. So how it worries me a little bit how it was looking like it was not going to get funded or would be very close, and then all of a sudden it just got funded overnight. Worries me a little bit. Then there's the Synthesis playing cards, which are back. They got 500 pounds. They're looking for 3,500 pounds. Kind of a look at that if you can see. That's kind of your back design or face design idea. Pips. You know, it's not, again, it's not overly exciting. So I'm not sure if it's going to get funded or not. It's going pretty slowly. And this is a second attempt. And that's about that. The Bicycle Elegance from CollectiblePlayingCards.com, that was funded successfully. Elements from Alien Link, that was funded successfully. World of Casino, that was funded successfully. And that's that. There's more decks coming up, of course, in the future. Jackson Robinson is working on a new version of the Cam Aero playing cards, which is plastic deck of playing cards. They look really nice. He's going to produce it in paper, a paper version, kind of like this, and it should be awesome. And he might actually use that as a staple deck. He's also working on a tally hole, and he's also released a teaser of a second edition Federal 52 deck. And that's what I got. Can't think of anything else. Oh, Heretic from Lorenzo. I do have one of those coming for a review very soon, a prototype, and those ones will be launching on Kickstarter very soon. And I'm actually still waiting for the original campaign decks to be delivered to me from the Requiem playing cards. So hopefully I get all those soon, and I will see you next time. That's what I got. I apologize if it's a little bit long as usual, but there's lots to talk about. Always tons going on Kickstarter. And that's that. See you next time.